All right, welcome everyone. If you'd rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, welcome again. We'll do a roll call, please.
Mr. Blanton?
Here.
Mr. Robinson?
Here.
Mr. Volrath, can you call?
Oh, Mr. Volrath?
He's excused absent. All right, we will do the remembrance of Joe Sykes Jr. He was a former Miami Township trustee. It is with deep sympathy that we announce the passing of former longtime Miami Township trustee Joe Sykes Jr., a U.S. Air Force veteran, Taylor High School graduate of 1948, Three Rivers School Board member 1978 to 1985, Miami Township trustee 1986 to 2014. Joe served as president of Hamilton County Township Association and served on the Ohio Township Association as a board member 1996 to 2005. As a director in 1996-97, was second vice president 1998 to 2000, first vice president 2001 to 2003, and president 2004 to 2005. Joe also served his community through Kiwanis United Methodist Church, American Legion, and was a member of the North Bend Masonic Lodge number 346 FAM for 73 years, a Scottish Rite Mason who was honored as 33rd degree member on September 21st, 2024. As a Miami Township trustee, Joe served on many Hamilton County boards, including Hamilton County Emergency Management, Hamilton County Solid Waste, Hamilton County Board of Health District Advisory, and Ohio Public Works Commission representing Hamilton County. Joe was very involved in the Miami Township Tax Increment Fund, which is our TIF fund, which has allowed Miami Township to make and improve the facilities in Miami Township and make it a great community we live in today. Joe was married to Wanda Jean, father of Ken and Karen, and was grandfather of 5, great-grandfather of 8. Miami Township was blessed to have such a proud and faithful servant to our community. May he rest in peace. And I will go to Miss Ozier, knew Joe very, very well, and he was a wonderful man.
22 years I got to work with him, with the township and the county. I was his treasurer when he was president for many years. He kind of suckered me into that too. No, but that man, smart man, very smart man. He, him and my dad on this board, wow. I mean, that was a powerful board. And Mr. Reiniger, Senior, and, anything you need to ask, he knew it. He knew the answer. If he didn't, he found it. He had so many connections with the state higher-ups, and, it's a sad moment, and I know my dad's taking it hard, and, what a, legacy for Miami Township and the school, because he was a board member also.
Yeah, big legacy he left behind.
Big, yes.
He did great things here.
Thank
So
you.
Joe was in on many projects for Miami Township, and the last one of the big projects he was on was this community center, so that he headed up for Paul, and Jack headed up for the township. So he was a wonderful man. Do you have anything?
I would just say he's widely respected universally. I mean, it was whenever you brought his name up, everybody smiled, and highly thought of. And I can tell you that it was well known, as was read, his involvement at the OTA and going up statewide and making those connections and bringing back best practices back here to Miami Township. So yes, he will be missed and a true icon in Miami Township.
All right, Mr. Brett, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I could talk about Joe for years. I've known Joe my entire life. He was very instrumental and a mentor to me when I became a trustee all the way back in 1990 in Whitewater Township. He and his dad ran a business in Whitewater Township, and Joe just meant the world to me. So,
Well, good. All right, and we have two individuals we'd like to remember in remembrance of Cindy Black. Cindy Black worked for Miami Township. She was our events coordinator, and she ran our Easter egg hunt for years and years. Do you have any idea how many
No,
years?
with, my dad would know if he was here, but he's not.
Yeah, so she was very instrumental in helping run the events all the way back before this building was even built, back when it was, what was it called, the barn?
The bar.
Like the barn
The
that we had
Civic
up here.
Association, what was
Yeah.
that called, what'd they call it back then?
Yeah.
Remember the white barn?
So,
I don't-
yeah. So we're gonna have a moment of silence for Cindy. We're also gonna remembrance of Charlie Kirk. He was the founder and president of Turning Point USA. So if we would, we'll just have a moment of silence for both of those individuals. All right, thank you. All right, I'll accept a motion for the minutes from August 20th, 2025, the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees.
I will make a motion that we accept the minutes from August 20th, 2025 of the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees.
All right, I will second it.
Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
All right, a motion for the acceptance of the invoice that was prepared by the fiscal officer.
I will make a motion that we accept all the invoices as prepared by our fiscal officer, Ms. Oster, in the last month.
Second.
Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
All right, sheriff's report, LT, where are you? You're normally up here. I thought you left.
Good evening, everybody. Lieutenant McElroy with Hamilton County Sheriff Patrol. So last month, Sheriff's Office had 311 runs in Miami Township. 275 of those were dispatched. 36 of those were self-initiated or non-billable. As far as service exchange, 131 times Miami Township cars were requested outside of Miami Township. 44 of those times they were disregarded, so 87 total that they went out to assist. Same time period, county cars came in 200, or were requested to come in 211 times. They were disregarded 117 times, so they assisted into Miami Township 94 times. We took last month 14 criminal reports and 4 non-criminal reports and 2 auto accident reports. And that is all I have. I know you were, still can't remember?
I have to
Okay.
call you tomorrow.
Any questions from the audience?
Any questions for the
requests?
lieutenant? All right,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Moreland?
Lock cameras in operation?
Not in operation, but they have been sent, ordered, I don't know what the proper term would be, ordered, I guess.
We still haven't received the location email on those.
So I just communicated with, is it he's still Captain?
Captain Major
Stapleton
Stapleton.
and Lieutenant recently, and they had originally looked at some of the locations that they had identified as the best locations as far as safety and security of the community. Some of them had solar issues because it is a solar-powered camera. So as far as having enough sunlight, as well as looking at underground utilities and making sure that if they're digging down and securing the cameras, that they're not, messing up with any of the utilities. So that's what they've been. But it's already been in the works as far as permitting and all that. But we will finalize with you and get input from the rest of the board before that's put in place. But the idea is that, again, they can always be relocated. So this is an initial spots that will be the recommendation of the sheriff's department, but we can always relocate it if it's not working out the best.
And some of those ideas with the problem with the sun or not getting enough sun could be handled by just moving them 20 feet or across the street or a different part of the intersection.
Okay. All right, thank you, LT.
All right.
Thanks.
Oh, someone back here.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
sorry, sir.
I didn't see you.
I would like to know, do you carry reports of dogs attacking other dogs or dogs attacking people? Have any reports?
There was a dog bite report. Is that what you're asking about from this month?
A dog attacking other dogs, my particular situation.
There were-
I've heard of other.
I actually have two reports for that, so I don't know if it was yours, but there were 2 reports taken, yeah.
Okay.
We do take reports, yes, would be the short answer to that, I guess.
Well,
Usually the charges or follow-up is handled by the SPCA or whatever they're called nowadays, but yeah, we'll take the report, and there should be a report. And even if there's not, there's always a call log, but I have at least 2 reports from this last month.
Is there anything, I mean, we've had a lot of people come to us saying there's loose dogs, like literally across the street, people chasing people.
Well, certainly
chasing
call
their
us.
dogs, and
Certainly call us, because the SPCA is not going to get there in any kind of time that's going to be effective, but they're for more of the follow-up as far as ordering confinement and whatnot. But call us immediately if they're loose. If nothing else, we'll try to collect them, I mean, without getting attacked ourselves.
Right.
We have poles and whatnot also. If we have to do it, we actually have been supplied with poles to grab them if we need to, and we have a cage down to hold them until SPCA can come get them.
Okay.
And, well, go ahead, sir, I'm sorry.
I was
Oh.
kind of wondering if the speeds down Jordan Road are getting awful excessive. There's a speed limit sign going into Cleves that flashes and tells you how fast you're going. Can you put something down there to point out to people that?
You have a spot on Jordan you're talking about exactly? Spot, where are you looking for exactly on Jordan? I'll see if I can get it.
8805.
805?
8805.
Okay.
And they come flying past there sometimes 60 miles an hour, squealing tires on the little dog leg turn, can hardly hold it on the road.
Well, I can put in a request for our radar that is doing what you're asking about as far as getting the speeds and all that.
I mean, that's.
It's called the radar trailer.
Draw attention to, so they can realize how fast they're
Sure.
going. But if it comes down to it, you can park in my driveway and ticket everyone.
I assume this is coming down, Jordan? I assume it's coming down, Jordan, right?
Both directions.
Okay.
So you
Yeah,
can-
I can put in a
I
request.
picked guys up out of my front yard that lost their motorcycle because they couldn't hold the turn. That's how fast they were going. I'm just saying,
So you can do
somebody
the,
needs to do something. I mean, I got grandkids that are all the time. Last thing I want to do is somebody hit them because they won't make it till you get there.
Sure, I'll put in a request for the radar trailer
Being
too.
honest with
but
you.
you can do patrols also.
Oh, of course.
You can at least-
But he mentioned the flashing sign, that's why I said
Okay.
that.
I mean, that
No,
would
no.
draw their attention, how fast they're going.
Sure.
You know,
I don't know that I should do it, though. You took my seat. I mean, there should be some kind of punishment, shouldn't
I
there?
get your seat.
All right,
No, not a problem.
all right, Lieutenant, thank you.
The last thing, I spoke with Mr. Reynolds, or I left Mr. Reynolds a voicemail, so we were talking about the noise ordinance at length. I know it was the last meeting and the meeting before, and so, we need to follow up. Mr. Brett talked to Amberley Village, and we got their noise ordinance, and we're trying to compile what we think could be the best, most enforceable, ordinance that we could get. So I know we were talking about calibrating
Yeah.
and getting and all of that, so stay tuned, but it is something that we're actively working on.
Yeah, I mean, those are always,
It's
in my
tough.
experience, tricky.
Yes,
So I'm all for working towards them, just, it's not the easiest thing
Sure.
to do or enforce. Timing usually is easier, but I know that might not be all you're looking for, but it's just always a little tricky to
Sure.
do.
But we're gonna continue to do what we can.
Sure.
So,
He
thank
calls
you.
me every weekend, and I advise him to call the sheriffs.
Yeah,
So that's my advice to him.
Yeah.
Until we get this resolution ordinance.
sure,
ironed
that's not a
out.
problem.
Okay.
That's what we're here for.
Thank you.
All right,
All right,
all right, thank you.
thanks.
All right, we'll go to public presentations, Texas Gas, Miami Ford Power Plant, gas main.
If you can move that if you need to shift it at all. Thank you. Or anything. That works.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening. My name is Mike McMahon. This is Kyle Stevens. We're both with Texas Gas. And this is kind of one of those things you kind of like. We're here to give you a heads up. We're not going to make an ask of anything from you today.
Perfect.
We are in the area looking at a project. We're working with folks from Vistra as they finalize their plans about how we may be able to deliver natural gas to them if that's what they end up doing. So what we wanted to do is, we know our folks are going to be in the area, and we want you guys to know why. But like I said, we don't have a route yet, and we don't have an ask, but it's always, I know, sometimes disconcerting when you see trucks and like, why are people out looking, and why are people looking at specific parcels of land? So let me tell you a little bit about who we are, and then Kyle's going to talk to you a little bit more about what we're looking at currently.
Okay.
Texas Gas is a subsidiary of a company called Boardwalk Pipelines. Boardwalk Pipelines operates in 17 states. We're primarily an interstate natural gas pipeline company. We operate about 14,000 miles of natural gas pipelines in those 17 states. And we have about 1,300 people company-wide. So Texas Gas is a long-standing company headquartered out of Owensboro, Kentucky. We have about 500 folks working strictly for Texas Gas. And I think the key with Texas Gas is we operate a pipeline that starts in Lebanon, kind of comes through this area, and then ends up in Louisiana. So it comes basically right down the Ohio. It gets to Mississippi, it turns south and follows the Mississippi down towards the Gulf. So that kind of gives you a sense of Texas Gas a little bit. What we're doing here is looking at a potential pipeline that we would connect our mainline system eventually to Miami Fort. So Kyle, with that, I will let you kind of walk through where we're at.
Sure, and I'll orient on the map here for folks. As Mike said, the most important thing to take away today is we are in route development. As the crow flies, we're about 7 miles from our main line that exists just on the other side of Lawrenceburg to the Vistra Miami Fort facility. If they move forward with a coal to gas conversion, we want to be that natural gas supplier. So as we begin thinking how we're going to get from point A to point B, we realize that this is an area that is relatively tight. So we are not only constrained by roadways, houses, buildings, these types of things, we're also constrained by cultural resources, for example. So we will be working with the State Historic Preservation on both sides, not only Indiana, but as well as Ohio, to make sure that any routing that we do, we're going to run through a rigorous process before we say, hey, this is our final. So to give folks an idea of what we're looking at from a Miami Township perspective, we actually have 3 different routes we're looking at that affect Miami Township, and that's why we're here today. We want you all to know that we are out in the community and we are talking to landowners. So let me orient you on the map a little bit. I hope everybody can see this. I know it's relatively small, but this is the Ohio-Indiana state line right here. This is Dearborn County, Indiana. And over here, we have Whitewater Township and Miami Township. The Vistra facility is here. This red line is our existing mainline pipeline. That's 2 pipelines that go from Lebanon, Ohio to the south. This is our Lawrenceburg lateral right down here to the Lawrenceburg power station. And we're looking at constructing a lateral this way. And what we're attempting to do is once we get to Highway 1 or back over on this side, we're looking at attempting to get to the floodplain right here. So the floodplain north of the power facility. We'd like to come through here and then move south to the power facility. So we have a lot of different ways to accomplish this, as you can see through the different colors. And we're talking to landowners in this area specifically about permission to survey their property to make sure that there's nothing there that would keep us from building a pipeline. Ancient artifact or cultural seems to be one of the most important things in this area. We've already worked with State Historic Preservation. We have the files for many of these routes. We're working to avoid those types of things. We also want to actually survey on the ground to make sure we know exactly what is there. We do not want to put a pipeline on or through anything like that. So our goal right now is trying to secure survey permission across a number of these routes. So we are out talking to landowners to secure that ability to survey. We can't really go develop a route that can be permitted without doing those surveys. So that's an important component of what we're doing. To the extent that we cannot do that, we would have to do it after the fact before construction to get a permit that would be required by either the state or federal permitting agencies. So let me talk a little bit about the process and who we are. So Mike mentioned that we are an interstate natural gas company. As an interstate natural gas company, I need to seek a certificate of public convenience and necessity from the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. So that is a federal certificate. I need to prove a couple of very, very important things. One, that this project is needed. And then number two, that I've chosen the least environmentally invasive route. And that includes not only what you would think about from an environmental perspective, but it also involves the level of human interaction. So what we're looking for is sort of that sweet spot. What is that best route? We're also looking at routes that don't involve Miami Township. But we're here today to just let you know we're out developing this route. So if anybody hears about Boardwalk, our parent company, or Texas Gas, the operator of the red line, that's who we are. And that's sort of why we're here today. Overall, this project is something that's going to take about 3 years. I know it kind of sounds like a long time, but from a project development perspective, I think John would tell you, nope, that's a pretty short period of time. So we'll go in and we'll get permits. We'll work on permits for about a year, and we'll turn around and do construction for about a year. But to get to that filing, I've got a lot of pre-work to do. So that work has been ongoing for a little while, and we'll continue all the way until spring of next year to try to find that very, very best route. And then those clocks will start. We'll take about a year for a permit and about a year to construct. So that's sort of what we're looking at from a timeline perspective. Again, we mentioned the purpose and benefits. Assisting Vistra in their plans to keep the plant working, keep the plant open. It's been around for 100 years. We want to help them in their decision process. Should they move forward, we'd like to be ready. So our process takes a little longer than theirs in this particular scenario, so we're starting ahead. So that's why, again, we're out in the community today developing this project. We want to make sure we're ready when they're ready. A couple of interesting things. We both pay a significant amount of ad valorem taxes. The project for Ohio alone would add about an extra $250,000 a year to Hamilton County. So not insignificant, not a ton of money, but not insignificant as well. But also during construction, we're going to have quite a few folks out on the ground. And they'll be using a lot of small businesses in the area as well, including hotel stays. So from that perspective, when we start this project and we do our construction in 2027, there should be some uplift on local businesses as well. One of the most important things, and I will let you guys read this. It's kind of a chunky thing. We're a highly regulated asset. The Certificate of Public Convenience and Necessity I mentioned is a relatively rigorous process. We expect that the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission will prepare an environmental assessment for this project before they issue us a certificate for this project. So there will be a full environmental review of what we're proposing. In addition, we're held to a specific set of safety and design standards. So the project is designed, engineered, constructed, and built to the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission's standards for environmental impact and environmental management, but it's also designed, constructed, and engineered and operated in conjunction and compliance with PHMSA regulations. So that's the Department of Transportation. So they regulate us as well. We have a very strict set of standards for how these types of pipelines are built. So we don't get to do that on our own. We meet a very, very specific set of standards. So from a safety perspective and an environmental commitment perspective, very highly regulated. And this company's been, obviously Texas Gas has been around since the 1950s. So we feel very confident that we can build this in a safe and environmentally effective manner. So I'll sort of leave that with everybody. One of the things that you might notice when you look at this is there seem to be a lot of highways and there seem to be a lot of wet areas that you might need to be in, or you might have issues with cultural resources. Well, one of the things that we can do is we can actually bore underneath or drill underneath a pipeline route to create a way where we don't impact what's on the surface, we actually go underneath it with pipeline construction. So that's called a horizontal directional drill. When we look at these routes, one of the things that we've noticed, especially on our northern routes here, is that we're probably going to end up using that technique for about 30% of the pipeline routing. So there will be no above ground disturbance for about 30% of the route. That's to get underneath Route 1, 50, 275, you name it. We would go underneath every single one of those highways, and there's also a relatively significant rail spur closer to perfect north slopes that we would be doing the same thing. So when we think about how we accomplish these goals, we want to bring as much technology to it as we can. So in addition to being sort of highly regulated, we're trying to bring the maximum amount of technology that we can to create the safest, most environmentally protective project we can come up with. So that's a little bit about what we're doing. I'd love to take questions if we have any.
So I got a question for you right off the bat. So
Yeah.
do you have extra of these for people in the audience?
I don't have enough for everyone in the audience, but I do have a few. We really do want to take these back today because the routes are not public.
So they want to take this back and keep this.
So I didn't know.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
that's okay. That's okay. One of the things that I want to make sure everybody understands, and this is something I should have mentioned earlier, when we feel like we have the most permittable route possible, we will bring up a website. And that will allow everybody to be able to go out and understand exactly what we're doing, what the timeline is, what our safety protections are, and everything. There'll be a map. Everybody will get to see exactly what we're proposing. In addition, landowners that are affected, next door landowners, and other affected landowners will also get direct notice of the project and the opportunity to participate and comment in the process for this project at the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. So there will be a way out on the website that will explain exactly how you can get involved in this project. So from that perspective, this is a very open and public process. And like I said, as soon as we have something that we're relatively settled on, we'll bring up that website to make sure that everybody can get the same information at the same time.
And our commitment to you guys is if we decide to touch the township, is we will come back to you and say, this is where we're going to be in your jurisdiction.
Right.
Because we'd rather you hear it from us than hear it from somebody else. So we would.
When would that, when do you think that would be determined?
Spring. We're going to continue.
26.
Yes, we're going to continue working on this till spring of '26. That's sort of the timeline where we feel like under normal development processes we'd have something honed down enough. We'll also let you know if we're not going to be in Miami Township.
Right.
One of the things I always like to say is it's important for folks to understand what you're building, but it's almost as important for folks to understand what you're not building. We're not talking about significant above-ground facilities. We're not talking about, gas plants and refineries and these kinds of things. That's not what we're doing here. This is a 20-inch below-ground pipeline.
So if everything goes well, you're looking at an in-service date of 2028?
Correct, early 28, with construction in 27.
Okay. Anybody have questions? Go ahead, Laura.
The landowners, where you're digging and digging down, are those going to go directly through people's properties, on their property lines? So would you be splitting someone's property, like say they have 5 acres, and they have a house on 3 of the acres, if you went through that, and you have these other 2 acres on the other side,
Right.
what is the swath of area
So-
around the pipeline where they would not be able to construct or build?
So right now, the current plan on the top of a 20-inch pipeline would be a 50-foot easement that we would purchase from the landowners. And then, yes, we would ask that you do not build a swimming pool or trees and those types of things on that 50-foot. We'll need about an extra 25 feet for construction, but that would be returned to the landowner.
And if we do what Kyle talked about with the drill, then it really doesn't affect the above ground.
Correct. So if you're
But you still couldn't build on that 50?
No,
That's why.
if we do a drill that has no impact, what you do on the surface would have no impact because that could be as deep as 50 to 60 feet below the surface.
So the drills are a big U-shaped circle, and so on top of the...
How are they maintained? That 50 feet, how is it maintained?
We'll mow it to make sure that there is not significant overgrowth to where we can't sort of see what's going on when we fly it with our weekly patrols. So from that perspective, we'll keep that mowed.
But if the landowner wants to, if the landowner has crops or something, they can plant crops over the top of
Correct.
the right of way.
So the top of the pipeline in most instances in agricultural areas, the top of the pipeline would be 4 feet deep. So full agricultural use on top of the pipeline.
I just want to thank these gentlemen for coming. So I met with Doug Mormon previously. A lot of folks don't give us as much heads up, and so thank you for, getting ahead of the game. I've been out to Miami for it multiple times and appreciate you folks coming out and being supportive here. I've talked to the school, Three Rivers, superintendent and treasurer there. Like was said, we're looking at the 100-year anniversary coming up in a few months, and certainly we would love nothing more than to have that continue for many, many years to come and be successful and keep those jobs and keep that tax revenue coming in. So, thanks for coming and, making sure you're, informing and we can have ambassadors meetings and other things should this continue to move forward in our community and make sure that everyone's well informed.
All right.
Yeah, our commitment to you all is to definitely stay in touch.
All right, Mr. Burkholz?
I just wanted to know from an investment standpoint, how much money would you say your company is putting in to do the study and everything that would bring this about?
Wow, that's an interesting question.
If you care.
I think right now it's a lot of our time. We're out looking. Once you start actively engaging with landowners on a project this size, we'll probably, before anybody makes a decision on anything, we'll probably have invested close to $1 million in just time, effort, and resources, and be that land people going out and talking to landowners and stuff. So, a project this size is probably in that range. I don't think it'd be much more. Where the real dollars start coming is once we've got her out, as we move towards, as Kyle said, filing our application with FERC, and then you start pre-ordering pipe and things like that.
Purchasing right-of-way.
And purchasing right-of-way, that's when the real dollars start being spent.
I understand that, but I guess from a standpoint of what a company is putting out to even look at this is a significant amount of time and money going into that project.
Correct.
And I just was wondering from a standpoint of economic impact in this area, I realize, the power plant being here is going to be an economic impact. But from a standpoint of all the other things you're referring to as far as hotel rooms, different things like that, it has to be a pretty significant amount of economic impact, number one, and number two, for you to do a project like this and make it profitable. Investment is, I mean, it just doesn't happen. You're putting things at risk.
Yeah, we are, and to your point is, when construction starts, this is, there'll be probably at a height 100, 150 people, give or take.
Yeah, we'll have about 120 moving across state lines.
Yeah, so you're gonna have, and a lot of those guys, some of those guys may be local, some of them may, some of them I can guarantee you will be from out of town. And one thing we've seen on all of our projects, be they big or small, is during construction, the local businesses see a pickup. Your convenience stores, your restaurants, your grocery stores, if you've got
gas stations,
trailer parks, those types of things, you just see this influx because there's 100-some people coming in and they're spending money every day in the community. And I know it's a short-term blip, but it does bring some benefits to the local communities.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, any other questions? All right, gentlemen, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
Pass that. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out to us.
Yeah, I don't even know how to get in contact with you. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, library, Carrie, would you like to address the board?
Sure, if I can steal a few moments.
Sure.
Are you timing me? Start it. Good evening. How is everybody? Thank you very much for allowing me time. It's wonderful to see you all. I haven't seen you in a while, so I'm glad to be here. Hello, everyone. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Carrie Bernard. I'm the manager of the Miami Township Library at 8 North Miami Avenue in Cleves. We're adjacent to the Senior Center. I just wanted to let you know that even though there's no movement on the new property on South Miami Avenue, there is a lot going on behind the scenes. We are meeting on a consistent basis with SHP, the architectural firm, and we are planning out the layout of the building, all of the ins and outs, the parking lot, and everything that goes along with it.
Is there going to be public, I know there was public input on that, but
Yes.
is it going to be finalized without any more public input?
Probably. I will let you know that from my perspective, all of the public input that was taken has definitely been listened to. The pictures that everyone pointed to, the services that the public requested have all been thoughtfully put into this and moved around and moved around and moved around so that it's perfect. But it's still in process. As soon as plans are solidified, they will send out bids and then begin groundbreaking and construction. So I would like for them to hurry up. I'm a little eager, but I have no construction skills, so I'm leaving it to them. If you want to follow along and keep up to date with the advancements, if you go to chpl.org, that's the library's website, and you look up Miami Township, the most important branch in the whole system, it will list my information if you have any follow-up questions or anything, or if you just want to email and chat. And it also will give you a link to the next gen information. So does anybody have any questions so far? No? If you do, just chat with me and let me know. We do have some fun and free things coming up at the library. Many of them are in partnership with Karen at the Senior Center, who is always extremely gracious. Next Monday at 6 p.m., we have the Delta Queen and Cincinnati's First Family on the River. If you're unable to make it to Tall Stacks 2025 in October, come to this. We have a speaker coming from the Cincinnati Museum Center's Heritage Program, and they're going to talk about the history, and it should be very entertaining and educational. If that does not excite you, we have bingo Wednesday, October 8th. a fun and entertaining time. It is for adults and it does fill up quickly, so you'll want to register. You can call us or sign up online. Again, in partnership with Karen, in October, we are having the Cincinnati Museum Center to come back out and do part 2 of Historic Hauntings. It's a really informational event where she talks about local buildings and monuments and areas of town that may or may not be haunted, depending upon your beliefs. But it was a really fascinating program and it got great feedback, so we are having her back for part 2. And that's Monday, October 20th. And for everyone, we're having a Customer Appreciation Day on Tuesday, October 28th. And again, we're partnering with Karen. Are you sensing a theme? Tuesday the 28th at 4 p.m. we are having the Newport Aquarium come out and they are bringing stingrays. I know, right? It is also our Customer Appreciation Day, so we'll have raffle prizes that week, we'll have giveaways while supplies last, and we'll have treats. Even though our staff alone is enough of a treat, right? If you guys have any questions or anything, just let me know. Thank you very much for the time. Do you have questions?
Thank you. I do not, no.
Okay.
Within the last couple of weeks, I did end up touring the Forest Park
Yes,
branch.
yes.
And Paula, yours,
Yes.
yes. So we took a nice tour. I loved a lot of the aspects in there.
Yes.
And loved the natural light. They assured me that they are
Yes.
attempting to incorporate that
Yes.
mindset and theme into our library. And,
Absolutely.
So a couple of board members and love the tree, love the kaleidoscope, all those fun
Yes,
little
yes.
things in there.
It will
So-
not be as large
Sure.
as Forest
Sure.
Park, but it will have the fun and the light and the
Right.
accessibility, yes.
looking
All
forward to it.
elements that will be incorporated.
Absolutely.
Thank you
All right,
again.
Thank you, Karen.
I know you're all working hard on your own events and stuff. Feel free to communicate with me. I'm happy to promote your
Okay,
events.
sounds great.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, we'll move along. Administrators report. Mr. Brett?
Good evening. I'm actually happy to start off with the Jordan Road water line project that we've been discussing for some time.
Yes.
And for our upcoming newsletter, we went back and found that the first time we found that discussed in the minutes was in early 2018. So this has been a project that a lot of people have put a lot of work into. We've overcome a lot of obstacles, but I'm pleased to say the project is out for bids. And Kirk, I have a copy of the plans here for you because I thought you might want to set. Barry beat you to it. He came up and picked one up. And we'll be accepting bids on Friday, September 26th until 12 noon. And I expect to have those bids sorted out and figure out who's the best and lowest. Hopefully that'll be the same person, and I expect to have that to the board for approval on the October 1st meeting. So,
Wonderful.
so I know a lot of people have been waiting a long time for that, so I'm actually very pleased to announce that. While we're talking about bids, the expansion at West Park is also out for bids. We'll be accepting those on Friday, September 26th. Up until 3 o'clock p.m. So along with the Jordan Road water line, we'll have the West Park bids in by then. And again, plan to review those and sort them out, figure out who's lowest and best, and have those for your approval by October the 1st.
Great.
So next, while we're talking about parks, we brought up the idea of maybe going with an artificial turf at the West Park ball field. So we've been exploring that, and this isn't something that, it's not as easy as it sounds. So we're going to do some more research on that. We're going to go visit the, I still call it Eggleston. I think it's Mid-American Ballpark now, and because they have a flooding issue like we do. And also one of the two companies that we've been talking with just finished the LaSalle ball fields, and they invited us to look at that. So that project, we've got a lot of collaboration to do with the schools and with TCRAA, but I think that's an exciting project for us to be exploring.
And sponsorships also.
Yes. So if you're interested in having your name on the field or somewhere on that, just give me a call here and we'll work that out for you.
Texas Gas.
They might be a good sponsor. So,
Right.
assuming that Miami Ford is still going to be here, maybe they can
you
help us
go.
out. So, by the way, I think that Miami Ford Survival. My dad worked there, and a lot of our friends when I was a kid worked with him, and I certainly would like to see that extended.
Yeah, I think we all would, Jim.
Yeah.
So,
Briefly, just because we mentioned it last month, Ed Lindenschmidt has several of those properties we've been talking about in the pipeline. We're working on those, and Jason Pasteur is working with us on a fence over on Mount Nebo and Britton House that, believe it or not, he went out and the guy that put the fence up didn't get a permit, and he also put it up backwards so that the unfinished side of the fence was facing the neighbors. So Jason sent the notice of violation to the neighbor who actually complained. So we're trying to get that straightened out, and a couple other properties that we've been working on. So we're continuing to work on those.
And if I may, I'd like to say thank you to Ed. He actually called me, called Kim, I mean, there was a kind of a high, I guess, a sensitive issue with one of the nuisance complaints where he felt concerned about his safety, and we had to get, others involved. And so he's taken some of these issues that are pretty difficult, and I appreciate all the work he's doing on that.
Yeah, we actually we had a representative from the Sheriff's Department out, and
Yes.
I went down also, and he did a wonderful job of diffusing that himself. And when we ask you to comply with our property codes and our zoning, we want to be there and make it work for everyone, and that's always our goal. So he did very good at explaining that to the gentleman. I'm hoping to see some improvement soon on that.
Yeah, and talking to him, he went out of his way to try to
He did
get that
an excellent
resolved
job.
amicably, but clearly the resident was not interested in that, so that's unfortunate.
okay.
Let's see. Last week we had a community health and wellness fair here at the event center. It was September the 9th, so it was last Tuesday, or week ago Tuesday. It's our first time for this event. It was really well attended, I thought, for a weekday event. And all the vendors were excited. They want to come back next year and have us do it again. I thought it went really well, and I think that's just another community service the township is offering. I think we had over 24 vendors here, so that was a really well attended and worthwhile day. I have some news on the cemetery. We had a resident who came to our meeting, asked us to add some trash cans to the cemetery. So we ordered 7 new trash cans, one for each of the active sections of the cemetery. And those are in, and I'm glad to say that we've been able to help him out with that. He and his wife go down there, they walk, they pick up garbage that people throw out, and he just mentioned to us that, I'm picking this stuff up, but I don't have any place to put it, so I think that'll help him. I also, Mr. Volrath, who isn't here tonight because of work, and I picked out a couple of benches that we thought would be good to replace the benches with over there. We've got 2 samples coming in, and if we like them, we have an Eagle Scout who wants to take out the old benches, put in the new as part of his Eagle Scout project. So hopefully we'll be getting those in, and he can get that project done before the end of the year. So, and just a little mention about Zion Cemetery. We've had some issues there all the way back to when Dan was handling the zoning and nuisance complaints. The folks next door just weren't cooperative, and the board decided to add a fence between the properties, and Wayne has started on that. So that should be done by the next meeting.
Good.
So, it's kind of funny with, back when Cindy's dad was on the board, if you called somebody and asked them to do something with their property, they respected the township and they did what you asked them, and we just don't get that as much anymore. But again, we always try to work with people and come up with a solution that works for everybody. The Ohio Plan, which is our new insurance company, was out. Their risk assessment director was out, and we actually just today received his recommendations, so I'll be sharing those with the board. So we've got some changes we're going to need to make in our policies, some additional information we need to get for some people, and some upgrades and additions to some equipment. So I'll go over that with you guys between now and the next meeting. Energy Alliances, our aggregation partner. I've been working with them trying to package our electric usage for the township. As I've been talking about, Kim has been doing a bang-up job at getting unused accounts combined so that we're only paying for 1 meter at a site and catching up on where and what we have, and combining the bills. I think she's down from 29 to...
I was down from 38 to 21 now.
So, and Rich at Energy Alliance is working on a program for us based on what we're currently paying and what he might be able to get us for the next 12 months. He's looking at being able to save us maybe 15% overall. So while Kim has saved us over $20,000 already, we're looking at a pretty big savings on that. I don't have an exact amount, but so making some headway there. Next, I think it's about time we start talking about the celebrating America's 250th birthday. That's next year, and we'll be participating in the America 250 program. And we're kicking that off with an announcement in our newsletter that'll be coming out the end of the month. We're going to ask anybody in the community that wants to design a T-shirt for us using the America 250 logo and Miami Township. Submit something to us, and we'll try to have that. I'm not sure what deadline that Carrie put on that, but we'll whittle it down to finalists, bring it to you guys at a board meeting to pick the final winner, and then we'll have those T-shirts available for sale. And we've got some great ideas to start that off with. I'm gonna, since our staff isn't here, I'm going to go ahead and mention something that Carrie wants to do that I think would be great. We'd like to kick that off with an honor our local vets and do something for our veterans. So we think that would be a great program to start off with. So we're going to be working with the Legion and the VFW to try to find out who the oldest vet in Miami Township is, and put together some type of a program maybe in February to honor our vets. So.
Sounds good.
The school could probably help you with that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I'm kind of going to end on a little bit of a down note. The crack sealing and seal coating at West Park is complete. The project turned out, I think the place looks great. If you haven't been down there since it's been done, stop by and take a look. I know
It does look great. They did a good job.
We had a little problem with, we actually closed the park so they could do it properly and let it set up. And some people decided to ignore the fact that the park was closed, and they messed up some of the surface. But the owner of the company that did the work, it's a company local, not located in the township, but the owner lives here. And he went back and resurfaced a lot of the areas for us at no extra charge, just because he said if his name was going to be on the project and he lives here, he wanted it to look as best as possible. So our hat's off to Julius Howell for that. And yeah. So, and that's going to, extend the life of our parking lot and walking trails there tremendously. So,
questions.
That's good news. And that's all I have unless you have questions for me.
Any questions for Mr. Brett?
Yeah.
Mr. Morlon?
As you gave me that drawing and I looked at it, I got to observing that there's a big percentage of the water main in the road on Jordan Road.
That's correct.
With that being said, I also noticed you've got the branches, taps, whatever you want to call them, drawn in over to each individual's property line.
Right.
In the bid that's coming up on the 26th, are these branches included in the bid? When the project is completed, the homeowner will have a shut-off valve on his property line at no charge.
That's my understanding, and I will verify that to make sure, but that was the intent.
That's the intent, and I also, because I know there's 3 people in here right now, that's going to be a big plus for them. But also, I'll be straight up with you, I own property down there. There's not a home on it right now, but there is a branch over. Are they going to put those taps in also, or only the ones that have a house?
If it's shown, it's part of the bid.
Okay.
So,
Because what I was getting at is if they don't, then they're going to have to go back and open cut the street later to put the tap in, at least
Yeah.
the hole. And I'm sure you're probably going to end up paving the entire road for X number of feet on Jordan when the project's done. Is that in the bid?
that's just filling in the area that we excavate,
Okay.
but we are talking with Hamilton County to see if we can get them to follow us and resurface that entire road in that area
Is it anyway?
immediately after us.
It needs it,
So
right.
that's the goal. So while we're talking about Hamilton County and the road projects, Dan and I were just talking before the meeting.
About East
The
Miami.
Hamilton County engineers have told us that they are planning to resurface the road from Harrison Avenue down towards Frogtown to about the fire station. We're going to check with them to see if that's still in the works for next year and what the time frame's going to be, because the Edgewater Sports facility has a large event coming in. Mike might want to talk more about that. I think we're a little premature, but we know what the dates are.
When we get there.
But anyway, we're gonna work with Hamilton County to make sure everything happens so that it doesn't interrupt that event, so that we can hopefully get Jordan Road resurfaced, and so you get 2 for 1 if that happens.
Did
You
have
get
a
water.
question, sir?
That was my question, actually from, I guess, the Village Corporation limits all the way to Edgewater, is that included?
No.
No.
So the next phase will be from Harrison Avenue south, and then the year after that, they told us, will be from wherever they stop around the firehouse to the Cleese Corporation line. So you've got to wait another year to get it all the way to Cleese and get our, by then we should be getting with construction on the new water main with the new park. So that'd be great timing if they stick with that program.
All right, any more questions for Mr. Brett? All right, we'll move along. All right, we'll go to old business, and we have none. New business, Mr. Brett, the correction to December 18th, 2024 minutes. Do you want to point that out?
Yeah, we went to an executive session at that meeting, and Ms. Oser had to leave because I think she had a basketball game.
Probably.
And when she came back, she didn't get back before we finished. So either the last page of the minutes didn't make the minute book, or something happened. But you have in front of you tonight 2 pages of minutes for the addition to the minutes that we have for that meeting.
Okay, and we just need to make a motion and approve those 2 pages,
That's correct.
Yeah, because we missed some important information and the auditor caught it.
Okay, well,
And
that's-
so Kim, thank God, went on back on the video and was able to watch it and took all the notes, and so.
She had her notes, I had my notes, and we
Yeah.
watched the video, and so we're
We were
confident.
like little investigators that day. It was kind of cool.
Well, that's
So,
good.
yeah, well,
That's good.
because we
All
knew,
right.
we knew it was approved. We just couldn't
Right.
find it, and that's why, yeah.
I'll make a motion that we accept the 2 pages that were missing in our minutes that were dated December 18, 2024, in the Miami Township meeting minutes.
I will second the amended version of the minutes.
And I believe, will they need to sign, will those be in there?
Yeah.
Re-signed, yeah. Okay. Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
And Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Brett?
Okay, next on new business, we have some of our projects from last year got pushed to this year, like the Pat and June Park. So we need to increase our appropriations from the TIF fund in the amount of $400,000, partially to pay the schools.
Right, which is a good thing, because that means we got more TIF money. So I wanted to make sure you guys understand that. That's a good thing.
It is.
I mean, some of it is a good thing, yes, that we got more TIF money than that we predicted, so.
Also, some projects that were pushed off and some things that we bought that were planned for 2024 or 2023 that got pushed to this year, and 2024 that got pushed to this year. I think the difference in the Quint aero unit that we're buying was about $125,000. So we just had some extra expenses that we didn't budget for, and it's always good when you have to share more money with the schools, because that means we got more money from our TIF fund.
All right, we got a motion.
I will make a motion that we increase the 2025 appropriations in the amount of $400,000.
And that's just for TIF?
Just for TIF?
Yeah.
Tax increment fund?
Yes.
I'll second it.
Okay, Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
So next on new business, we have an approval for the repair of the Triple Crown cul-de-sac. It's an area, I think both of you have seen it, but for those who haven't, it's an area at the end of the street where the garbage trucks turn around, the school buses turn around. So we looked at a couple different options. We got our contractors to look at it. We also got the representative from Strasser who resurfaced our streets, who used to work for the Kentucky Department of Transportation, to look at it. And they came back and recommended that we do that cul-de-sac in concrete. So because it seems like it's just going to keep pushing out. They also have told us, well, I have the proposal of $12,823 for you. As dry as it's been, if they open that up to do this and it's wet underneath, we're going to have to probably add a couple of ADS type, that's the black heavy plastic pipe with the sock, and run that over from the cul-de-sac area to one of the drains at the end of the street. So I want you to be ready for that, but we're hoping that there's not water just seeping in there from someplace.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we go ahead and approve the Triple Crown cul-de-sac estimate with Three Rivers blacktopping costing $12,823. I'll make that a motion.
I will second that and tell them not to find any water.
I'll put that in. Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
All right, next on our agenda, we have a part-time firefighter EMT candidate, Madison Tedesco. She has met all the requirements, and the chief is recommending her for employment as a part-time firefighter.
Great. And she's compliant hire as far as all of our policies and
Yes.
procedures. Okay.
Yep.
Did you have anything? No. Okay, I will make a motion that we approve the hire of Madison Tedesco as a part-time firefighter EMT.
I'll second.
Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
So, and the chief was able to finalize some pricing on turnout gear for the department. I'm sorry that Tim isn't here to explain that more, but basically our finance committee and Ms. Oser had budgeted $150,000 for turnout gear this year. We haven't spent that, but just to get the people who are new, we don't even have a spare pair of turnout gear. So we're a little behind. So the chief was able to negotiate an acceptable price on some new gear. We're kind of piggybacking with other departments around here and got the cost down. So at this time, he'd like to buy 16 sets of complete turnout gear for $74,992.
And you did say it was in the budget, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Any discussion?
No, again, it's budgeted, it's only half of what we have budgeted for the year, it's needed, and I want to make sure that those guys have the equipment that they need.
All right. I'll make a motion that we go ahead and purchase turnout gear from Vogel Pool Fire Equipment, total of $74,992.
I will second.
Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
All right.
All right, that's it for new business, Mr. Brett?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, we'll go to public comments. If you'd like to address the board, you're welcome to come on up to the podium. Or if you get any questions, you're welcome to come on up to the podium and address the board.
What were the fire runs for the past month?
What was what?
The fire runs, if we're seeing an increase.
We've got a report we'll give to you, Joe.
Okay.
Okay, we have one printed for you. Okay. All right, any other questions? All right, we will go comments from the board. Mr. Roberson?
Thank you. Where am I,
Yeah, but I've got it.
The biggest thing is that last evening, so Rob Weinley approached me, and I lined up a meeting with Mr. Brett and representatives from our sheriff's office and fire department. So there's exciting news that they're looking to have a very large music car, mostly car event in early June. And Mayor, it was June the 6th and 7th, I think the dates were, I believe, or Dale, but I believe it's the first weekend of June, a full weekend of June. And so like we just saw with Texas Gas and Miami Ford coming early to us, they're approaching us early to try to make sure that we're all on the same page. And the mayor of Cleves, Mr. Mayor Burkholz, convened a meeting last night that Mr. Brett and I attended, and some other local representatives. But basically, this is a group from Indianapolis, and they are coming in to hold a major car event. And I know that they've had some big races, big events down there, but I don't think anybody's seen the likes of what's coming. And so that's going to create some obstacles and some challenges, but some great opportunities as well. So my biggest concern is traffic going in and out of there on East Miami River Road. And again, we're addressing those concerns. They're talking about shuttle buses from the school and from other locations to try to alleviate some of that. But this could be a boom to our local, again, restaurants, hotel, campsites, all that other stuff that we're excited about. And they showed a commitment to wanting to be involved in our community. So they were talking about the Christmas walk. They were talking about Gravel-Rama, a bunch of different events and things going on here. So mostly just want to give folks a heads up that that's coming and that we're going to be working over the coming months to do that. They already have some, promotional material that they're putting out, and you're going to be seeing more of that at several of the events, but excited about that. Excited about the committee that's talking about, the America 250 that was, organized in. Besides the event that Mr. Brett mentioned about veterans, I think we're going to try to look at our summer concerts and some of our other events that we've had each year, but sort of put that on steroids and celebrate the anniversary of America. So I think you'll see that all across all the communities in our area, but we're certainly going to do our part to celebrate that and make that special. Talking about traditions, I attended Harvest Home Parade, and I know that's not in Miami Township, but pretty much the whole west side comes out for Harvest Home Parade, and that was a beautiful night. Saw all the bands, Taylor Band, Elder Band, LaSalle Band, all the different, schools represented down there. And that was a beautiful night. And otherwise, there's going to be a lot of trunk or treats and other events coming up, so stay tuned. And we're trying really hard to communicate with our residents. So if you haven't checked out our website, you can go and watch this. This is being televised right now. You could watch that on our website live, or go back and watch past meetings if you're interested in that. We're trying to push our social media, and as was mentioned, our newsletter is being finalized literally in the next day, hopefully, to go to print and out to be mailed. So there's a huge effort to communicate and make sure that our residents are more informed. But I think that's all I had right now.
If I can, just one thing, the date for that event is going to be June 13th and 14th.
Oh, 13th, 14th.
It's the second
I
weekend.
apologize, couldn't remember.
Mr. Burkholz, did you wanna speak about 250 or?
Actually, a night before they're coming in, so at the 12th, they would actually come in, and they would hold a registration at the Three Rivers campus. So
Okay.
they're looking at hiring students from Three Rivers to work that event, not only there, but I think also the days of the event.
Okay.
And, it was a good meeting.
Awesome.
I appreciate you being there.
Absolutely. It was good.
Anything from Cleves, though, you'd like to address?
Yeah.
Nope, okay. All right, Ms. Hosier?
The only thing I have is, we're meeting Tuesday morning, our first finance meeting at 9 a.m., don't forget.
In my phone.
I'll send them a reminder. So just to get together, and I did ask all the department heads for a budget. I gave them till like middle of October.
Big
So I know
ticket
they're
items.
working on
Okay,
that, so.
I got it all.
But we're just get started and start talking about things for next year, and,
Okay.
yeah, so that's all I have.
Sounds great. All right, I don't have anything. Do we have a motion to, anything else from the public would like to address the board? All right, motion to adjourn. Do we have a motion?
I will make a motion, we adjourn.
I will second it.
All right, Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes. Thank
Joe,
you all.
here's a report.